Hey guys, my name's Crystal Kenny, and I'm in love with creating. All things artistic and imagination involved. I'm an American girl who chased her creative dreams all the way to Paris, France, making a living using photography. This podcast takes you inside the stories of all the artsy folks I've met along the way and gives you that extra push to discover your creative gifts. The desire to create is deeply inside each and every one of us, and I give you the tools and inspiration to find a new way of living a more creative life. This is La Vie Creative, the podcast. Today on the show, I interview Valeria Jaramillo. Valeria is originally from Colombia, but now calls Paris home. She is a maker of many things, including painting, cinema, drawing, writing. Today we share her story and hopefully inspire yours. To the show, Valeria.
Hi, thank you very much for having me.
I discovered your work on Instagram and I was really blown away by everything you're doing. I mean, you're working in cinema and painting and photography. I mean, you're combining drawing to sculpture, so many mediums. You're definitely a creative person living in Paris, living in France. And I want to talk a little bit about your origins. So where are you from and what originally brought you to France?
I am from Colombia. Cali, Colombia is in the south. It's very hot all year long. And I actually never felt that I belonged there. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It was just a strange feeling about identity and who I was. And I was drawn by Europe, probably because after a lot of research that I did that I'm doing with a documentary about identity, I discovered that I was actually closer geographically and culture-wise to France and Spain in the Basque country. So I've been discovering a lot of like intuitions that I had without knowing why I had them.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was very interesting. And finally, when I decided that I wanted to study cinema, I originally wanted to go to Berlin, but then when I went there, I didn't feel the energy, the vibe, and
Yeah.
I was Euro tripping with my sister when I was living in Barcelona because I was doing an Erasmus when I was in my fine art university. And then I came to Paris, and I didn't like Paris at the beginning because I thought it was like such a cliche. And when I was in university in Colombia, everybody hated Paris. They said I was like, yeah, like, oh yeah, old fashioned art, blah, blah. And so I came here with the worst attitude ever.
Yeah.
But the second I put a foot on this city, it was just like I had been here forever. And it wasn't even a deja vu. It was like a deeper feeling. And at
Yeah.
that point, I said, okay, things are going to change. I'm going to start learning French. I'm going to quit German, and I'm going to go to Paris because that's where I need to be. So yeah, it's a little bit weird the way I got here.
Yeah, but I love that because you were like, no, 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 I'm not doing Paris. And then you got here and you're like, okay, I get it. This is the vibe. This is what I'm looking for. And you were
Yeah.
studying cinema here in France. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I initially I wanted to study cinema, but in Colombia there wasn't an actual university that I thought it was good. So my dad suggested me to start fine arts in his university where he works. So I went there without wanting to be in this university again. And I did fine arts first with a little bit of like audiovisual studies, but like not cinema. And when I started art again, like Paris, it was like a punch in my face. I completely fell
Yeah.
in love, and I was like, I could not exist without being an artist first. And my dad and my mom, they said, okay, you're gonna finish the art university, and then we promise to send you wherever you want to go in the world.
Huh.
And that was the plan. So, but after that, it's a little bit more complicated because after I finished my fine arts university, I got my heart broken very, very, very hard, and I did a feature film actually before studying cinema, and I went to Cannes twice in some different contexts, and then I finally got accepted to the University of Luc Besson, l'École de la Cité de Luc Besson, which at the time was open. Unfortunately, now it's closed. And magically, I got accepted, and that's how I actually studied cinema here in Paris, and I stayed here.
I love how you just glazed over, like, yeah, I was at the Cannes Film Festival, no big deal. And then going to
I mean,
film
it
school.
wasn't an official selection. It's a little bit more complicated. I was doing a program that's called Creative Minds in Cannes, and then I went the next year with the trailer of the film. And so the first year was short film corner. So it wasn't like I was in the official selection. Actually, the film, it hasn't been finished yet. My producer is still trying to finish it because we had some sound issues, and it's been 10 years. So the film never, it hasn't been released because. Funny enough, in Colombia, they say that it's not a Colombian film. It doesn't
Ah,
feel Colombia. I know. So my identity problems, they show up in cinema apparently as
yeah,
well.
I know these identity problems are everywhere.
I
And
know, it's so hard.
do you show those off in your work, like purposely? Do you try to talk about that with your work? Talk about what you try to convey with your work.
Oh my God, it's like it's everywhere. Like for example, if you read my poems or my stories or my new films, I speak at least three languages in a very random way. It doesn't even make sense. It's just like you start in Spanish, then you continue in French, and then continue in English, and it's gonna be like that in all my films, and also in all of my documentaries, in my poems too. So. I'm actually assuming this eclectic, anachronistic, weird vibe of I like this weird identity that I have. And I'm not trying to push myself into being this Latina director or artist because I mean, I'm only Latina when it comes to dating. That's my only Latina way.
I love
For the
it.
rest, I really am not Latina. Also, I like to dance reggaeton and salsa. That's it.
Those are the best things to keep, really. I think you held on to the best stuff.
Oh yeah, I hope so.
I love it. But talk a little bit about all these things you're doing. I mean, you're creating cinema, you're creating photography, paintings, murals, drawing, sculpture, etching, writing. I mean, what is your main focus? You don't need a main focus, obviously, but are you crossing all these things over? And what are you trying to convey with your work?
I mean, yeah, that's the question that a lot of people ask me, like, what do you do most? And honest to God, I cannot say because I do everything completely in the same, um, um, I don't know,
Time.
intensity.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, like, intensity. I cannot choose. Well, maybe etching because in Paris I don't have the proper equipment because it's really expensive and you need like a lot of stuff. So I would say that etching is the one I'm not doing right now. But for the rest, I really do exactly the same intensity. And it's maybe in cinema, that's where everything combines. Like all of my techniques and my mediums, they combine in cinema. But cinema is not like my main medium is just another medium for me. Like if I take a canvas and I paint, for me, cinema is the same thing. It's just another expression. And yes, I'm very tired. I think today is the first day that I say to myself that I'm gonna give myself a week of rest without doing anything. But this is the first time I've actually done it in my life. So I'm trying to actually go a little bit slower because I have a lot of burnouts and I keep going. It's just my creativity really overwhelms me sometimes. So I'm hoping I can rest this week.
Oh
It's
my
my
goodness,
plan.
that's such a beautiful thing. I feel your pain. I said the same
Uh,
thing this week. I'm like, I need to take a break. I'm burnt out.
I know. I mean, everybody has been telling me to take it slow. I haven't been able to do that in like 31 years. So I'm actually going to start listening to the wisdom of people and see if that helps.
Yeah, and maybe from slowing down and taking these rest time, something new and different will come out of your creativity. They always talk about these resting periods, these thinking periods, and the doing periods. So maybe you're in a
Yeah.
resting spot right now. I think the pandemic was one big resting time for all of us. Like we were all like
Oh no,
reflective.
for me it was the most creative time. I even painted the toilet in my apartment. Like that was like I painted every single corner and I created like crazy. Every time I had holidays, it was the same. That was when I worked the most because I said, "Oh my God, I have to use the time that I actually finally have for myself, so I'm gonna create, create, create." And
Yeah.
even when I'm like in a slow period, for example, if I get sick, I it actually brings something out as well. Right now, I'm doing a documentary that is called The Nothing, Memoir d'un Artiste, and it talks literally about nothing. Like when an artist has no inspiration, when they lost their muse, when I lost my muse for me.
Yeah.
So I actually talk about nothing when I there's nothing going on. So I'm always working.
And I was looking at some of your paintings, and I noticed you paint a lot of like faces, but kind of in an abstract way. Like, talk a little bit about who you're painting and what's inspiring those paintings.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I recently realized that what had been inspiring my art mainly all of these years wasn't love. I thought it was love. I realized now that it was anger. It was rage. I've been very, very upset, and that's
Yeah.
what has been creating this ghost. I call them ghosts, and it's these people that they just haunt me every day, and the people that have took me for granted and that I cannot let go. So they literally become ghosts. So those are memories forgotten. It means these people that I'm trying to forget, but they remain like genuinely like ghosts. So
Yeah, and I can kind of see that in the paintings because they kind of have like this eerie feeling, but they're there, but we're not really sure, and you really convey that well in those paintings.
oh, thank you. Well, they're very scary ghosts, anyways.
They're very scary ghosts.
Living
So
ghosts.
they're living ghosts. And so talk a little bit about your process, like when you're sitting down to begin a new painting or writing, whatever. How do you start? What inspires you to get started, and what do you decide to do? Like how?
Well, this is gonna sound very strange, but when I do create, like I don't like the word create. When I transform matter, even if it's just like intangible matter, like the soul, for example, um, I don't know who did it. I mean, it's like I've disappeared, and then the thing exists, and I don't even remember doing it. It's so strange. Like it's
Wow.
completely, yeah. It's like a serious trance, and I don't. That's why I don't consider myself like an artist, a creator. It's just I'm just like the transition between reality and fiction, and I'm just some sort of like oompa loompa that does things, but it doesn't belong to me. It's yeah, it's a little bit like that. And the way it comes out is just every single thing, even nothing. In reality, I am like a sponge, so I grab it somehow, and I have this compulsive need to make it into fantasy so that it can exit my actual reality and it won't haunt me again. That's why I'm always trying to put things into fantasy because I cannot deal with it in reality. It's too much.
I like that. So it's like a form of therapy. It's like meditation for you, like getting rid of these things.
Yeah, like involuntary meditation because I don't have the choice of not doing it.
Yeah, but I like what you say about like you don't even know sometimes where these works come from because I've been reading a lot about like writers recently, and a lot of writers say the same thing. They're like they feel kind of like just a vessel that maybe this kind of creative energy comes through, and it's like where do these ideas come from? Where do these stories come from? We don't even know sometimes.
Oh, totally. And actually, they always come in the wrong moment at the wrong place. Like, for example, I'm very organized. I'm an artist with an engineering mind. So I'm
Yeah.
extremely organized. And I prepare my week and I say, okay, this week I'm going to continue this series of paintings in the workshop. And then I'm going to do this and then I'm going to do this. But then I wake up. And before I wake up, there are like thoughts of like some sort of a video that I need to do, and so I cannot control this creative impulse, this inspiration. So it's very difficult to actually have a program to get things done. It's always all over the place because inspiration is so it doesn't respect anything really. It's very
Yeah.
whimsical.
Yeah, I love that. There is no like structure to it. And maybe that's the best part because our lives can become so structured with like just the way society tells us to be. And with being creative or creating these new things and ideas, it's just out of nowhere and there is no like direct way to do it. There is no one way to get there, right?
Yeah, there's no one way. They're like a million. Unfortunately, when we were born, we are free, and with freedom comes unlimited choices. So everything you do is a choice, and it's very anguishing actually because you're way too free for your own good. So that's how
Yeah.
I feel every day.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes we need some limitations because we don't know which way to go, right?
Yeah, it helps. It helps to have some like boundaries, and but I don't have any because I don't have a boss. I don't have like I'm a rebellious person by heart. So, but at the same time, I'm my own general that tries to organize everything, and then I fail at it, and it's like okay, just let it flow. Just if you today you want to do a new auto portrait, like a self portrait, then go ahead and do it, and forget about the painting. You'll do it later. So
I
yeah.
love it. So talk about how Paris has changed your work and what you create. Has France like affected you at all in creating?
Yeah. I mean, I came here mainly to fall in love with the handsome French guy. Um, and yeah, like I think the cinema master was just the justification for coming here. And so that hasn't happened yet. It has changed my art in the sense of I've become more tough with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Um, because you have these dreams and you dream like and me I literally spend my life dreaming. That's all I do in my art is creating, taking reality into fiction. And when actually I see that reality is not what I wanted in my own fiction. So it has created art that is much more dark and much more intense. And I have been actually experiencing solitude in a way that I had never experienced it before in Colombia or anywhere else, or in Barcelona or anywhere else. So funny enough, it hasn't had created like the cutest Frenchy paintings, but I do create like flowers and my cochon d'Inde, my guinea pig, and right now is my new muse. So I'm trying to stick to this beautiful being that I have with me and making an honor, like an homage to this beautiful noble being, because I haven't been able to meet that noble man, romantic man that I've been dreaming about. So yeah, my art is getting much, much, much more uh, deeper and dark and more in
Yeah.
your face kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think that everyone thinks Paris will be kind of like lighthearted, but it can be a really like alone place. It can be a dark place. And so
Yeah.
you kind of have to play with that a little bit.
But at the end of the day, I do love Paris, and this is where I'm supposed to be, and I'm just taking the hits of reality into a good thing, and I'm trying to just create whatever it is that I have to do, let it out. And so it has been very nourishing in subject, in matter, in everything. So I do love Paris. It's just I have to become a little bit more tough. That's all.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It toughens us
Mm.
up in a lot of ways. And talk
Yeah.
about the importance of art in today's society. Like, why do we need art? Why do we need creativity in today's world?
That is a very good question. Um, I've always thought that art is useless, except for architecture is the only literally useful way of art because you can actually live in it. So when you think about art being useless and why do we do it since the beginning of time and we keep doing it now and why is it so expensive, etc. So I think it's only because it's the one thing that allows the soul to be connected with thoughts. And I don't know the word in English, but in French, I think is oisivité, is the just taking a moment to admire the universe and realize how small you are. And I think art makes us humble. Regarding the universe, and is the one thing that can actually let you know at one point a beautiful leaf of a random tree can be completely sublime. And this is something that we have a hard time seeing, especially today, because we're so connected to other stuff, to our telephones, our screens, etc. So I believe that yeah, it's the one thing that allows you to see the banal things, the futile things in the world that mean everything, and we forget
Oh,
that.
wow. I think that's really, like, beautifully said,
Oh,
and
thank
like
you.
you said, it's, like, gets us back into the moment and back into, like, being humbled by everything that's going on around us, and yeah, no, I love that. That's really beautiful, and that kind of brings me to my next question, like, how would you define creativity? What would you define it as? I know there's many different answers for this. I asked this to all my guests, but what in your own words, how would you define creativity?
Oh my God. In my case, it would be the salvation of my soul. If I couldn't be creative and translate my reality into fiction and make my demons, my real demons, into just fictional ghosts, I wouldn't be here. That's for sure. I know it's a
Yeah.
very bit dark, but that's the truth. And yeah, for me, creativity is just the escape of conscience because I feel like I mean, for me, ego is not just, oh my God, such a good artist. No, I have a big ego in the sense that I am extremely aware that I am alive and that I exist and that I'm very small in this universe. And that really anguish me terribly because it's not an easy thought to just live with. You know, I'm very aware that I exist.
Yeah.
So, with that, like, if I cannot exit my own conscience, my own this awareness of existence, I would be completely anguished and I couldn't like function. So for me, it really saves my life every day. The fact that I'm creative, that I can escape myself.
Yeah, I really like that because I've never thought about it that way. It like makes us kind of escape ourselves a little bit. We get into these flow states, we get into the moment of what we're doing and kind of escaping that ego, that conscience that's constantly like, you got to do this or this, worry about this. And instead, you can just really be into creating, like kind of getting out of yourself.
Yeah, and especially also like this allows you to have or to waken up your empathy. And that's why, for example, when you see a painting of a leaf, of a simple leaf of a tree, like the simplest things, and you completely can transport yourself into that, the beauty of that tiny little thing, like insignificant little thing, you're completely escaping yourself and you're becoming the little leaf. And I think art is the only thing, art and love is the only thing that allows you to have this empathy awaken at that point. So really, it is an escape.
Yeah, I think that's really beautifully put. Art and love. I like that.
Yeah, they're
Falling in
the
love.
same.
What were you saying?
I said art and love are the same, I think.
Yeah, I like that. That's really beautiful. And what are some places you go to find inspiration, or what do you do to keep your work evolving?
Well, I can find inspiration honestly in the shower or like anywhere, but I like to go. Where do I find inspiration? I actually like Place Vendôme. It reminds me of in Paris. It reminds me of Russia. I have Russian family and they left because of the war, but I have a very strong relationship to the Hermitage and to St. Petersburg. So it actually reminds me of when I discovered that I really loved art, and it was in that museum. So I guess that's why I love Place Vendôme so much. And I actually take detours in my bike whenever I have to. I just want to go through that place.
It is really a beautiful place. I could see a little bit of Russia there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I don't know what it is. There's something that reminds me. And even if I'm like really in a hurry and everything, I'm always gonna take that path just because I want to go through there.
Yeah.
But I actually find more inspiration. I know that Paris is fantastic and beautiful. I think it's the most beautiful city in the world, at least for me. But I find inspiration is in the people that I meet here. It's always like the inside of people. If they're good people, if they're broken people, that actually inspires me even more than good people. And I try to just understand the culture, the way they think. And I realize that everybody's the same and culture is not that different. I mean, Colombia culture and French culture are very different, but at the end of the day, people are people and they all have the same like human issues. And I love recognizing that in all the people that I meet.
Yeah. I think that's really interesting. I had listened to this journalist one time where she had gone to like these war torn countries and she would interview the people that survived or living through these like horrors. And she said it's so kind of interesting because they all said the same thing. They all had the same problem like, oh, I'm really in love with this guy, but he doesn't love me back. Or I want to, or my family doesn't accept my boyfriend. It's like, even when you're living through like these horrific experiences, we're always like focused on like our love life for some reason.
I know, it's so crazy.
Yeah,
I
it's
know.
like completely a thing. And talk a little bit about some advice you would give to people who feel like they're not artistic or they're not creative. How would you help them find what they're good at?
I mean, I think everybody's artistic and everybody's creative. Like we all were kids. It's just like Picasso said. It's a matter of just going back to basics. I think if people feel like they lost their creativity, they're just distracted. That's all by everything else, like by what society tells them to do, their screens, their vanity, or etc. But I mean, if we all look inside, we're gonna find whatever it takes to be creative because it's there. We're human. That's the human thing that we have. It's not even intelligence. We're not an intelligent species, in my opinion, but at least we are creative. Um, I just think people need to stop. They need to stop like what they're doing and just take 5 seconds to look at the water that is just in the street and how the light reflects this water, and that's it. They're gonna find it. They're just a little bit blinded by all the other things. You just need to stop and see.
Yeah, take a break, definitely. Be in the moment, which could work better for all of us. And what's the best advice that you've ever been given?
You're gonna laugh about this. The best advice I have been given is, Valeria, slow down. So I'm trying
Yeah,
to do that now. Yeah.
it's so true, though. I've been given that advice multiple times too. We're working on it one step at a time.
Yeah, it's so difficult though, but I know I have faith that we're gonna make it happen because actually people do know better sometimes. So it's good to listen to other people's advice.
Yeah, and we're so passionate about many things, so it's kind of hard to slow down when we're excited to do these things. And
Yeah,
talk
yeah, I
about
agree.
some of your future projects, like what do you want people to know about? What are you currently working on? Where can people learn more?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I work uh, in all of the projects at the same time. So there are like a lot of things going on. In fine arts, I created a series that is actually, I didn't create it, it just existed. It's called Demonia, which is like my biggest series so far. And it's a natural kingdom where human passions live as these little demons. And right now there is I've been doing that for 10 years, and right now there is a revolution going on, because the the principe that was the regent of this kingdom has been dethroned by my dead guinea pig that is going to take over this kingdom. So it's a lot of things happening in this kingdom. So that's one thing. And cinema wise, I'm actually doing a lot of scripts at the same time, and doing montage for editing for a documentary, which is the one I said, the Nothing Memoir d'une Artiste. But the one that I'm writing, the feature film, is called Mom, I'm Afraid of Summer, and it's an opera musical of a scary existentialist film. It's a feature film, and it's also an ode to my mother. And it's because I am afraid of the summer. I'm afraid of the light of the summer. I always have crisis, existential crisis during this time of the year. So it's about how conscience can haunt a human being, and this person is going to struggle with mental disease and like with this anxiety for all the film. And it also talks about the love of a family that tries to help somebody that cannot be helped because she's already in a living hell with her own conscience. So it's actually very, very dark,
Yeah, but
but is really
it's good.
beautiful at the same time.
Yeah, and to talk about mental health, which is something that so many people struggle with. I mean, I think it would be a good way to bring attention to that in an interesting way too.
Yes, and also like just break out the taboo about mental health, because honestly, it's not a people's responsibility to be sick. It's like you were putting a taboo on somebody who has diabetes. I mean, this person didn't choose to have this illness. They're trying to get better. That's their responsibility. But yeah, I've suffered from mental disease, and I suffer from this taboo in Colombia with a lot of stuff. And I think it does not help the case of somebody who's trying to get better or just be functional in society. And I take it like a natural thing. It's like you have your nose the way it is. I mean, okay, own it. Like we
Yeah,
cannot change it. We
exactly.
can only treat it. That's all.
Yeah, I think that's such a great thing to talk about. There's so much stigma around mental health and things like that. And it's like just breaking down those walls and talking about it and even creating art with it. It's like, let's talk about it. Stop being so like stigmatized and hidden. Like you said, it's not a choice. You just own it and you live with it.
Yeah, exactly. So this film is gonna be very, very dense in many, many subjects. So I'm looking forward to finishing the script. Although I lost half of the script like this week, so I'm trying not to panic. I'm trying just to write it. Uh, yeah,
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
calm
you
and
got to
write
get
your
that
film.
back together. And
Yeah.
where can people connect with you online and follow your work and chat with you? What's the best way to reach you?
They can do it through Instagram, but Arts Films, or they can also write through my website, www.valeriajaramillo.com. .com. And I also have many galleries online that they can find in the contact page. They can, if they want to acquire my art, they can go through these galleries. Or I also have LinkedIn. I also have actually pretty much all the social media, Twitter as well. But I think
Perfect.
Instagram is probably the easiest way to contact me.
Great. All right. Well, thanks so much for chatting with me today. And we'll share all of that in the show notes so people can connect with you, see your artwork. Definitely check it out, guys. It's fascinating. And I can't wait to see what you'll do next.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I love chatting with you. It was really nice. Thank you.
Thanks so much for tuning in to La Vie Creative. You can find more information on MissParisPhoto.com. And if you enjoyed this show, please feel free to share and spread the word for all my creative guests. We have the power to help them to keep doing what they love. See you next time.